Hello, everyone. Good morning. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to the Technical Session 1A. Myself, Ishita Sauryan, and this session will be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 8th International Conference in Information and Communication Technology for Competitive Strategies, Jaipur, India. The 8th edition of the conference is being organized in hybrid mode. The physical event is organized today in Jaipur, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom today and tomorrow, that is 8th and 9th of December 2023. I hope you will all enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions through the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations. Each presenter will be given 8 minutes for the presentations and 2 minutes for the question and answers. On 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder. There's another request to all the participants that you all stay connected with us till the closing remarks. If you have any query or update, then you can write it to me in the chat box. Just before we get started, I would like to introduce you all to the session chair. We have with us Dr. Shafi Pathan, Professor, MIT School of Engineering, MIT ADT University, Pune, India. Currently working as a professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, MIT School of Engineering, Sir has a remarkable experience of 23 years, worked as a lecturer and associate professor in Srimati Kashibai Nawale College of Engineering, Pune. He completed PhD CSE from JNTU, Anantapur, and currently works as the Technical Director for Machine Math Technologies, Pune. He is also handling project management, deployment of project, and resource management. We welcome you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you, ma'am.
I'd like to start with the papers. Meeta Mehta to present her paper, Artificial Intelligence in the Human Resource Management for Improved Employee Management Engagement. You may please start your presentation.
Yeah. Yeah, so is this visible? The screen is visible. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Good morning, all. I'll stick to the timeline. Being a social science faculty, we have not done a great technical paper, but this is an overview of utilizing. This paper is based on my patent, which I had published recently. So this talks about use of artificial intelligence in human resource management, the gap which was observed that there are missing links for utilizing AI for employee engagement. So we are two co-authors, one of my directors and myself from Symbiosis, Pune. So for this research, mainly we have focused on AI
Recording in
augmenting the
progress.
process of yeah. Request the other participants, those who don't have presentation, to please switch off, sorry, your mute your mic. Yeah, so I'll quickly start. Like technology has, impacted the global economy. We all know the societal tremendously, but why we applying artificial intelligence at the wide range tool to enable the organizations, we intend many a times to forget the benefits which are arriving out of it. So the authors in this research, we have mentioned the various uses of AI into HR processes and the various functions, and how the missing links of AI into employee engagement can be augmented or optimized by certain examples. So this is a preliminary kind of a conceptual paper. I'll not read it, but quickly go through this because we know that AI is there to enable the functions, and so is HR. So many companies, the case studies I be teaching in the class, what has been observed that it enables the HR managers to perform better, obviously, effectively. But many times, the organizations are not able to decode or optimize the functions by enabling objective the use of the artificial intelligence. Yeah, the use of computer interventions with the minimum use of the human interventions is always desired and expected. That is what the main function of using AI into HR has been spelled out in the paper. So the prime reason for AI to enter and get acquainted with the business process is obviously people, because when we talk about human resource, we know that to get them acquainted does not need only training them, but to adjust their psychology when it, because of the main challenges with the company companies are focusing nowadays. We have seen certain case studies of the Indian banks and some of the IT organizations. Researches which had been published at the various places now stated that there would be hardly any function left. Of course, this is a future prediction, including to medicine, to manufacture, service sector. AI has introduced heavily, and of course, the government, the present government, especially when we talk about India, is supporting the technology digitization of the processes. Although AI has penetrated most of the HR functions, but in the subject of employee engagement, many organizations have still not captured. So many consultants are helping the companies how to better optimize the AI for employee engagement. So along with the routine tasks, even employee experience can also be focused on customizing the machine learning applications. And the research done in the past talks about either HR functions and AI, but there has been missing links about integrated process. We had also mentioned about the use of AI in, ATS, the application tracking system, where how the screening applications are being done. But when it comes to a hiring scenario, so decoding the job descriptions, or maybe using it for the social media aggregators, there have been certain minimum research or experiences or the case studies which have been presented. While we use the artificial intelligence in hiring process, it also fails to capture the candidate experience who has not yet become the employee of the organization. So if the backend team works on the not only on ATS but candidate experience optimization through the hiring process, this would give you the first-hand results of the employee experience. The study says that at the stage of hiring, only 60% of the candidate decides to drop from the hiring process from the first stage itself because of their bad experiences. So that's one. Then again, I have highlighted the use of AI into learning and development. So a lot of companies are using now gamifications and the metaverse, the future prospects and the technical and digital penetration has been seen in learning and development processes. Learning and development, we all know it's a new name for the old version of training and development. So this has augmented obviously the processes like, the cognitive and digital and communication and technical skill based learning. Digital engagement technique is very that has to be emphasized yet, because when we talk about the companies, organizations integrated efforts in improvising talent, they need to more focus on developing the algorithms and the internet of things and many such advanced technical processes where how the learning and development, again coming back to the data which says that L&D functions mostly, many of the organizations, especially we know in the higher education also, whenever the HR announces the training, we say that, oh my god, it is going to consume my time. So our engagement, many of the employees have seen their engagement processes are not being yet optimized during the learning and development processes. So and the same time, the irony is that the companies are using huge billions of rupees behind the training, and to optimize this, the AI helps this thing during the training processes. Use of chatbot and self-analysis of the progress like ICICI Bank and Wipro does. This would help them to minimize, the chances of drop learning, during the learning and development process. We have also proposed use of AI in short form of the, employee engagement through performance appraisal. We know the benefits of using AI for performance appraisal, that would be faster, unbiased, scientific and real-time processes. So it is said that AI to captured that a platform example, SaaS-based platform, where it captures the real-time performance evaluation of the employees rather than quarterly or annually. So there would be color code or combinations which will be used at the backend team again by coding. Technical part I'm not emphasizing here, but what I'm trying to mention that performance appraisal process can be optimized by real time, capturing the data. The reason for writing such paper, the rationale talks about that even if the company intend to engage their employees, their study, like Gallup study says that 17% of the employees are disengaged, 54% of them are not engaged, and 29% of the employees are actively engaged. So drop of the engagement is going heavily year by year because of the Gen Z's involvement. The different generations which are working at the workplace are making the task of HR very difficult. So to optimize it, HR has to be a strategic partner in developing the AI tool that would be very effectively for employee engagement, and where it has been taken care of their cognitive, mental, and emotional aspects of the employees, and it would be highest level of the unbiased. So AI is majorly worked on two sets of control mechanism. One is a behavioral control, and it's the second one is outcome control. Based on our research, we are emphasizing that artificial intelligence, while managing and controlling the HR processes, must be based on the control mechanism. So outcome second type of the control mechanism, that is outcome based control mechanism. So automation of the HRM processes include digitization, and it should be coded into integrated and objective language. So AI supported tool for learning and development should be drafted that help in predictive analysis of the employee's performance. That would be based on employee engagement parameters during the learning experiences. So that's what I had to say. So our performance has been integrated with the learning development, and AI-based learning tool must be designed on psychometric tool or job involvement, skill identity, and so on. So customizing the learning platform, with the help of AI tool will optimize the company's performance. This is what the diagram we have explained of AI, HR, and employee engagement, how it is integrated and subset of all these processes. Of course, the lastly, I have explained the challenges, especially the ethical aspects. While you decode the AI, coding, the part is done. Very important is the human interface should not be completely eliminated. There has to be a strong supervision, because there have been examples that while hiring particular gender gets more hired, so it cannot be inclined. So inclusivity, diversity, there are certain principles which need to be taken care a lot while using AI. So this is what the way forward of our research. Future research can be based on these of one of the topics or combination of the few topics, which includes the cross department, ethical issues, qualitative studies of the employees or candidates, and very important thing is AI into cultural factor. Given the time limits, I have tried to compress the 8 minutes presentation into 8 minutes. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Uh, Go to the first slide,
Oh, sorry.
Mita. Yes.
Are you able to see
Mita.
now?
Yes, yes. Yes. We are able to see that. Mita,
Yeah.
nice presentation. Go to the first slide. It is showing background slide. First slide, title slide. Uh, you are saying that you are using artificial intelligence in HR, especially for employee engagement. Fine. But whatever reference you have taken the reference of some report which says that 29% of people are actively engaged, 54% are okay, and 17% are not engaged at all.
Hmm.
Right? This is from the report. What is about your data? What your data says? Have you collected any data?
No, so I mentioned that this is the conceptual paper where the collection of the articles have been made, where we explain the use of the AI and HR. This is not empirical paper. This is conceptual paper, a basic paper theorizing the way forward for the future research.
Acha. If that is the case, then one or two resources are not sufficient for that. You should have taken more resources for that. First thing. Second thing, have you identified reasons for that people why are not engaged? Have you came across situations like this, some examples like this? What why probably people are not engaged into this?
Yes,
or
sir,
engaged
because
in?
I am into this field since last 23 years. I know many factors, but I could not capture in this paper because the objective was altogether different. However, your question is that there are individual factors, organizational factors, and there could be environmental factors, which could be associated for the disengagement or the poor engagement. So just to give you one example, Generation Z, a lot of youngsters are joining the workplace now, and they have the own set of the personal, kind of the objectives. So when your personal objective is not meeting with the organizational objective in terms of opportunities and the growth offered at the workplace, the disengagement starts. So then likewise, there are multiple reasons, it could be organizational, that could be one of the reasons could be the peers, workplace, layout, transport. There are many reasons. So organizational, work related, job related. So each employee, we know the Maslow's theory. So each individual gets motivated with the different factors, and then such offers are not as a part of the job. It results into the disengagement gap, and then gap leads to disengagement.
Acha. Mita, earlier also studies has been done probably to identify that what are the reasons for disengagement and various statistical techniques for addressing that. But you are saying
Yes.
that you are applying here machine learning, isn't it? Machine learning technique or artificial intelligence.
Yes.
So that aspect and that point should have been added into in your research
Yes, I
to
have
some
added, sir. I have
some
added.
extent.
I have addressed this. There have been studies which talks about the use of AI into optimizing employee engagement, and there have been studies which talks about AI in HR, but there have not been studies about how AI in HR functions can optimize the employee engagement. That was the gap.
I'm saying about tools and technology. Uh, Probably with which tool and with technology will go ahead. Fine. Understood?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. It is all from my good presentation. Mita. All the best.
Thank you, Mita. We will be proceeding with our next presenter, Masumuddin Ahmed, with his paper titled Breaking the Mold, Addressing Education and Employment Challenges for People with Disabilities in Bangladesh. You may please start your presentation.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are audible.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Hello everyone, good morning to all honorable members of the conference. I am delighted to welcome you to my presentation at ICTCS 2023. I am Masumuddin Ahmed and my co-author is Dr. M.D. Ghulam Rabiul Alam. The title of my research paper is Breaking the Mold, Addressing Education and Employment Challenges for People with Disabilities in Bangladesh. Introduction. According to globally 1.3 billion people, 16% of the world's population have significant disabilities. A substantial number of these individuals live in developing countries, including Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, disability prevalence is estimated at 10%, with conflicting statistics. Access to education and employment for individuals with disabilities in Bangladesh is severely limited. Only a small fraction can pursue higher education due to these challenges. The current unemployment rate for people with disabilities in Bangladesh is a mere 1%. Motivation, education, and employment opportunities for individuals with disabilities are vital for social inclusion and equity. Personal experience as a student and employee with disability underscores the unique challenges faced by this group. Creating a more inclusive and equitable society in Bangladesh is our ultimate dedication. There is a research objectives to investigate the education and employment status of people with disabilities in Bangladesh, to uncover benefits and significant barriers to education and employment for individuals with disabilities, to emphasize the need for more inclusive policies and practices based on research findings, to address the specific needs of people with disabilities in Bangladesh, to advocate for increased efforts to promote accessibility, and opportunities in education and employment. Existing works. M. A. Jalil presented a study on disabled people's access to public sector employment in Bangladesh, where the study shown the present state employment for the people with disabilities. Asia et al. Conducted a study on physically disabled students in summer undergraduate research environments. Lamichen et al. Examined factors affecting the school participation of child with disabilities in Bangladesh, aiming to identify constraints and contribution inclusive development goals. Sobnath et al. Presented a study on feature selection for UK disabled students' employment engagement post-higher education. Methodology. In this research, we utilized a mixed methods to comprehensively explore benefits, challenges, and innovation for students and employees with disabilities in education and workplaces. We employed a survey consisting 5 theme questions to gather insights from both students and employees. These are the 5 theme questions. In short, program engagement. Engagement explore the effectiveness of engagement in the programs covering aspects such as dormitory life, class attendance, lab work, office tasks, and extracurricular activities. Factors for active involvement. Investigated factors contributing to active involvement and achievements in the program, both as a student and as an employee with a disability. Advantages gained. Explore the advantages gained from participation in the study and employment. Encounter difficulties. Examine the difficulties encountered while participating in the program, both as a student and as an employee with disability. Thoughts on inclusivity. Explored participants' thought on the present situation and potential approaches to enhance inclusivity in education and employment in Bangladesh. They are allowed participants to freely provide feedback and respond to the survey questions on benefits, challenges, and facilitators. Data collection. Research documented experiences of disabled students and employees in Bangladesh via survey questionnaires. We use Google Form survey questionnaires. Participants willing consented to participate. Data was collected through various means, like face-to-face interviews, phone conversation, interactions with disability-focused organization, and online forums. This study focused on 200 participants. Among them, 110 was physically disabled student and 90 was the employment with disabilities. And the participants consisted of 76.4% was male and 23.6% was female. Summary of findings. So here is the students' benefits they got from the education is skills and learning. 79.8% of students with disabilities actively attend classes, showcasing active engagement and enthusiasm for learning. Individual and career benefits. Students gain confidence as their studies align with future employment prospects. Personal growth and career clarification. Valuable experiences are acquired, with comments highlighting benefiting such as acquiring knowledge, remaining active, earning respect, securing employment, and becoming self-reliant. And the benefits employees from working is professional gains. Employees with disabilities affirm the value of acquiring experiences through learning and working for their current and future career prospects. Here is the challenges and parallel facilitator for the students. Challenge 1. Students are under estimations of their abilities and facilitator management practices fostering active engagement. Challenge 2. Negative attitudes from instructors and peers. 61.9% students are affirmed that. And the facilitator could be establishing a supportive and inclusive community. Challenge 3. Limited participation due to physical space and technological constraints. And the facilitator could be universal design for physical spaces and technology access. Challenge 4, lack of knowledge and preparation among teachers, administrators, and peers to support students. Those are students with disabilities, and the facilitator well-prepared teachers, administrators, and peers. Challenge 5, financial logistic, with 73.8% of institutes not providing sufficient support. Facilitator could be awareness and flexibility in financial support. Here is the summary of findings for employees with disabilities. Challenge 1, unequal access to employment opportunities. Facilitator could be raising awareness among employers. Challenge 2, negative attitudes from employers and colleagues. And facilitator, creating a supporting and inclusive workplace. Challenge 3, inadequate accommodation, including accessibility and supportive materials. The facilitator could be making necessary accommodations. Challenge 4, insufficient governmental training and logistical support. The facilitator could be implementing supportive policies and practices by the government. And here is the recommendation. The paper explores evidence-based strategy for inclusivity, recommending policy changes, infrastructure development, awareness campaigns, capacity building, stakeholder collaboration. Here are our research conclusion. Our research potentiality was addressing challenges and offering solutions for education and employment of individuals with disabilities in Bangladesh. Limitation was our limited sample size was 200 participants and limited focus on participants' experiences. Our goal to future research, we needed to explore diverse disabled individuals' perspectives with substantial data, and we are exploring influential factors in the education and employment of people with disabilities in Bangladesh using ANOVA and multiple comparisons with sentiment analysis. Thank you everyone for giving your valuable time for my thesis presentation.
Ahmed, I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Ahmed, good presentation. Your topic is very much socially relevant. It is very good topic.
Yes, sir.
But what I was able to see here that it is like an article where you are given what are the things and all these things. A research component you need to strengthen. Research
Yeah.
components means what? Whatever parameters, things you have taken, proper citation and proper acknowledgement of where from you have taken the data. I am not able to find it because you are saying that 16% people are disabilities. Fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if I could see around me, that means whoever are learning people, out of that 16 people more or less will be having disability, which
Yes.
for me a person it is not justifiable. But if you are giving data with some standard resources and citation would be done properly, then probably it will be more relevant. First thing. Second thing, whatever parameter you have shown that is improvement in the employment, improvement of student ability, you said. For that also a conclusive remark, conclusive literature survey or conclusive resource for depicting that data should be there.
Yes,
Fine.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, Ishita. It is all from my end.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Bye.
Thank you, Masoom. We will
Thank
be
you.
proceeding with our next presenter. I'd like to invite George Duke with his paper titled Business Intelligence and the Importance of Data Processing. You may please start your presentation. Sir George. It seems we do not have him in our meeting. So, Shafi, shall we proceed with our next presenter? And we can wait for Sir George later.
Yes, yes, Ishita, no issue.
Okay. So, I'd like to invite our next presenter, Nutan Deshmukh, to present her paper titled Design and Implementation of ThinkSpeak IoT Platform for Environmental Parameter Monitoring. Please start your presentation, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, sure. Yeah, so good morning, everyone present here. So I'm Nutan Deshmukh, and I'm presenting a paper here based on design and implementation of ThinkSpeak, which is an IoT platform for environmental parameters monitoring. So my co-authors are Dr. Sandhya Arora madam and Varsha Pimprai ma'am, and we belong to Cummins College of Engineering, Pune. So before we start the introduction about IoT, so IoT is nothing but Internet of Things. So where we know that multiple devices when they come together. So things in IoT is nothing but the different devices which have unique identities or unique identifiers. And when you connect all of these devices together to an internet, so we say it forms an Internet of Things. So why is it more important and how did it evolve? So initially before IoT, we had embedded systems, so which were individual hardware, a combination of hardware and software, which used to work for us. But they were not connected to network, so that in case sitting at one place, if I want to monitor or remotely if I want to manage something, so that was not possible in terms of embedded systems. So then later people realized that when we bring all these embedded systems together, what we can do is we can form an internet of this. So it was named as Internet of Things, where multiple devices are linked together. And because of this, the information, the transfer of information which is taking place is becomes easier. Sharing of information, updation of information, so on and so forth. So remote monitoring basically becomes easier in terms of Internet of Things. So if we talk about the different benefits, so we know that the cost, reduced cost, higher efficiency, more business opportunities are there, improved customer experiences, and then increased mobility. So now sitting at in Pune or sitting in Nashik or sitting in Nagpur only, I can manage. It's not a case. So sitting anywhere, over the world, I can manage. So what is important or what is required is only internet. Now when we had informations collected through these IoT devices which were connected to each other, so then the information which was stored was on a local server. So now instead of a local server, people thought of converting it into a cloud, into onto cloud. So now there are different multiple cloud platforms which are present for the data which would be collected through Internet of Things. So we have ThinkWorks, Microsoft Azure Cloud, Google Cloud, Salesforce IoT, ThinkSpeak IoT, and there are many more. So minimum we have 20 cloud platforms which are present here. So we thought that we should focus on ThinkSpeak, and which is an IoT platform. So when we talk about ThinkSpeak, basically it's an open source IoT analytical platform. So the basic task that ThinkSpeak do is the information that is connected by the devices which are connected to for a particular task, the information that we would retrieve the information from all those devices, and we would collect it on one place which will be placed on cloud. And in cloud we can represent it, or we can visualize that real-time data in multiple different forms as per the convenience of that particular user who wants to use it. So handling of the information, the analyzing of the information becomes easier. And the another important task and the another important feature of ThinkSpeak is where you can also execute MATLAB codes by using, in ThinkSpeak. So some of the major features is key where with the help of MQTT protocol, the basic task in ThinkSpeak it takes place. So kind of if I want to delete something, if I want to update something, if I want to represent something. So if you take a general IoT architecture, so you have sensors or you have devices. So devices are nothing but the different sensors which are placed. So intelligent devices are called as sensors. So sensors, they have connectivity to a particular database, and through that database has connectivity to a platform, and that particular platform, cloud platform, has an connectivity to an application. So what would I see on my application is the basic forms of, or the analysis of the data that I'm collecting. So for an example, let's say if I want to measure the water flow of a particular farm, right? So what I can do is I can place sensors on soil. So I have different soil sensors, and sitting here on my application, I can just turn on, turn off the water flow, or I can even check whether the water in my soil is less or more. If it is more, I will turn off the water flow. If it is less, I can turn on the water flow, so on and so forth. So this is a very simple analysis that I've given you. And then later what you can do is you can get all this information on the IoT platform, and then you can analyze in which duration or in which month, what kind of an high or low soil temperature, soil moisture was present. So when we talk about the different working strategies of ThinkSpeak, so you can interact with different devices, with the different social media, as well as the different web services that are present. As I said, you can create your own channel, you can configure your own channel where you can send, receive, retrieve data. So whenever you log into ThinkSpeak, you have your own channel, and on that particular own channel, what you can do is you can make use of different devices information coming up there, and as per your convenience you can publish the data depending upon what kind of information you need. So we thought of doing this particular thing. On the proposed work was where we wanted to measure the temperature and humidity monitoring, where we can visualize or where we can have an alerting system through ThinkSpeak. So it is where the basic step would be that to measure what is the temperature and what is the humidity of a particular, let's say, farm, as we say. So in farming, so now where would this be used? So in weather predictions you can make use of this, as well as in smart farmings, and there are many more different things. Let's say if I want to visit somewhere, right? So if I want to know the temperature, so now currently what many of us do is if I want to know a particular, the next 3 days may what would be the condition, let's say in Ujjain. So what would I do is that I would go to the weather forecast and I would check whether it is cloudy or it is clear, and so on and so forth. So how do we get that information? So we get that information through different, so we can get the information through the different sensors. So currently we get it through satellite and all, but we can also get this through different sensors which are placed. So weather forecasting and the current weathers and the past weather readings, we can easily see on these particular type of platforms. So smart farming or garden systems can easily get managed because of the work that we have proposed. So the methodology that we used were, so the basically the specifications that we used were, we had a power supply. Then we made use of Raspberry Pi. So Raspberry Pi is one of the boards which you can use, and you can get our different IDE, so which is integrated development environment. So other than a Raspberry Pi, so we thought of you making use of a processor, but other than processors, you can also make use of different controllers which are also present. So if it is in a smaller scope, so you can go for Arduino. If it is at a larger scope, you can go for processors. Then we had made use of DHT11, which is a temperature and humidity sensor. We also had buzzers, the different jumpers that we used, and the Raspberry Pi needs an Raspbian OS, so which also comprised of Chromium browsers and the Python 3. So when we are making use of Python 3 as a programming language, so we have Adafruit library which is used. So DHT is a library which was used. So the process that we followed was we read the temperature and humidity from the sensors. We send that particular information to the ThinkSpeak server through the API for visualization, and then we checked whether are the readings unusual. So if yes, then ring the buzzer. So unusual, in unusuals we had given some threshold, so that if the readings, if it is crossing the threshold, the buzzer would go on, and an alert mail would be sent to that remote users. If no, then it can also wait. So now the second important application of this particular kind of model is where, let's say, in a particular refrigerator, right? If you're storing something, and it needs to get stored, the food, if it needs to get stored at some certain temperature. So if the temperature goes high or goes low, then this would be very much beneficial for those kind of people. So for food maintenance, for farming, so this would be used. Now, the domain model specification is where we have different users who would be using our model. So they would be connected directly through a human interface would be there, or they would be making use of some API, as I said, or some application or some web application which is present. So if I'm talking about web applications, so obviously we would need different types of services. The services which would be given by or provided by some kind of resources. So that resources are thing, but you need network support there. So if that network support, if it is on device, so what is on devices? Let's say I'm making use of a Raspberry Pi, which has inbuilt Wi-Fi support. So if I'm just entering the password for to connect it to a Wi-Fi, I can easily get connected to. So as we know that we have mobile phones currently, so we can see very few mobile phones who do not have internet facilities nowadays, but there are maximum who have internet facilities. So it is where they have inbuilt internet facilities. And then there are devices. So devices in terms of mini computers. So mini computers is nothing but the processor that we used here. So that particular processor was attached to the different sensor which we use. So temperature and humidity sensor, and also the buzzer. So as and when the temperature, if it exceeds, or the humidity, if it exceeds the threshold which was given by us, the buzzer would ring, and obviously, as I said, that a mail would get fired. Okay. So there were two different. There was basically one physical entity, which was the environment through which it used to count. So as we had one physical entity which we were monitoring, so we would have one virtual entity which is present. So one virtual entity is also related to that particular environment only. Okay, so this was the domain model that we used to connect all those devices and the different sensors that we used. So these kind of results were achieved. So if you see in the field chart number 1, so there is a temperature chart and you have a humidity chart. So when you see that the temperature 27, 28, and 29, so in this chart, it would talk about when did it drop down and when did it go up in a in a particular date, on a particular date, at what time the temperature dropped down and at what time the temperature went up. Similarly, you can see it for the humidity. So this kind of notifications you would be able to see on the application that you would design. So it is not mandatory to have an application designed. You can also go on directly onto the ThinkSpeak website, and then you can check on your channel about the data. But what would be easier that if you have your own application designed for it. So the numeric value is also displayed for that particular current temperature as well as for the current humidity. So finally, I would like to conclude that currently there are multiple uses of IoT and cloud computing integrating together with the help of internet. But what has generated or what has given a new upcoming to this is where there are multiple research opportunities, because IoT and cloud computing together, they are not as much as popular that they should be. So I think it is a long run where IoT and cloud computing would come together and they would have a very good time together. So if you see multiple corporate businesses or corporate issues are getting solved with the help of IoT and cloud computing together. So thank you. So these are the references that we referred to.
Hello, Nutan ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Nice presentation, nice elaboration. Each and every point has been taken consideration. That is good of it.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. But you are saying that your paper tells about cloud and IoT, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, where are the parameters which says about how cloud or how cloud can be a challenging to the IoT?
So cloud is not getting challenged. I mean, cloud is not challenging to IoT, but it is where we are showing that if you connect IoT devices, so initially the scenario was where just local servers were used to collect the information and the analysis were done there. So in case,
Yeah, but
let's say
yes, yes, Nutan, but we are saying that it is a long way for IoT and cloud platform. Means
cloud to
there are,
come together, yes.
yeah. That means there are
The
many things which need to be standardized. There are many things which need to be addressed. There are many things which need to be considered. Uh, Likewise, are
right.
there.
So
Fine.
if you see the services, the platforms are not yet developed so much in terms of IoT, because IoT itself is a new domain, not new exactly. I cannot say it's a new, but still it is midway. So let's say if you ask somebody to move on to, take up any task on IoT, so people they come back because the hardware and software combination together, working of it really becomes difficult because every
See,
time the
see.
hardware would work.
Okay,
It's not
okay,
the
fine.
matter.
Nutan.
Yes, sir.
But if you see, control systems were already there in the market from more than last 80 years.
Yes.
Fine. Only thing was that they were not connected to the internet because naturally internet was coming up. Internet is came in a long way.
Right.
Now, if a control system connected to the internet is nothing but IoT.
Yes, sir.
So things are there. Things are very much mature also. Fine.
Right.
As far as you are saying that cloud, fine. So cloud is basically at large extent where cloud is used. Cloud is used for the data storage and manipulation of the data. So
Yes.
see that these things should be addressed in your presentation if you are saying that if you are saying about both the things,
Okay.
right?
Yes, sir.
And as far as IoT is concerned, whatever the component methodology and all these things you have shown, see
Yes.
that a constructive or commendable or some good research should be represented in conclusive way. As far as I'm saying about IoT only, I'm not saying about cloud here, right?
Yes, sir.
See that these things will be addressed,
Sure,
right?
sir. Sure, sir.
Yes, yes. It is okay from me, Ishita.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Nutan.
Thank
We'll
you.
be proceeding with our next paper presenter. I'd like to invite Jay Dhanash Panalkar to present his paper titled Fly by Drone for Data Collection Using Wi-Fi Modem and ESP32 Module. You may start your presentation, sir.
One second, Ishita.
Yes, sir.
Can we stick to the timeline, or can we adhere, or can we tell them that these are the timeline and
Yes, sir. The
timestamp?
total timeline is of 8 minutes
Fine. So
for
I
each presentation.
yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello. Good morning, sir. My name is Dhanush. I'm from Nitya Meenakshi College. It's very good to be here. Today, my presentation is on the flyby drone for the data collection using Wi-Fi modem and ESP32 module. So basically, there is a bridge in agricultural land that it covers vast amount of area where we need to collect diverse amount of data in the agricultural land, such as turbidity. Turbidity is nothing but the quality of the water that is available in the agriculture land, water levels to check the how much level of water levels are available that must be provided to the agriculture land, temperature and humidity, soil moisture, uh, soil quality checking. These are nothing but the manual collections that is currently being done. All the work is done manually. So I came up with an idea of developing an ground sensors where it transfers all the data to the Google Firebase. Coming to the problem scenario, uh, as I said, there is a manual work that is being done in the agriculture land to collect all the data. There is an idea. My idea was to integrate all the sensors with an ESP32 module. It is a small microcontroller as it connects to the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, where both the connections can be interfaced with the drone that goes and collects the data over the agricultural land. So basically, as I said, my idea was to get a drone as a medium, use a Wi-Fi hotspot or a modem, using a separate battery on the drone, and those drone goes and collects the data in the agriculture land over vast amount of area. So in the further, we can also implement the infrared cameras to monitor the quality of the plants that are available in the agricultural land. So after collecting the data, this data is stored in the Firebase, and using API, we are retrieving the data to the Android application, which was developed by myself as in my academic project. So application domain is like where this project can be used, or what can in which areas it can be it will be helpful. So in IoT data management, it can be very helpful. Like we can manage diverse amount of data which is coming from the agricultural land, and that needs to be stored in the Firebase, and it can be retrieved in the mobile app. And data visualization, coming to the data visualization, in app we had coded to visualize all the data to monitor all those parameters which are collected in the agricultural land. So these are some of the parameters that has been displayed in the visualized in the Android application. And real-time monitoring is so as I said, we are using Google Firebase. In that, we are using the storage of real-time database where it getting overwrite over time again and again. So what are the technologies I have used is the Java and XML to develop the front end for the mobile application, and we have used Google Firebase API to retrieve the data, and Google Firebase to store the real-time data. So this is the working model of an drone which was developed in my academic project. So basically, we are using APM 2.8, that is of Arduino, that is a microcontroller for the drone, and we are using 2.6 gigahertz receiver to control the drone that hovers over the agricultural land to collect all the sensor data. And this is the working of the ground sensors which has been implemented. These are some of the sensors which has been interfaced with the ESP32 model. Over the hotspot which is carried by the drone, this data is collected by the ESP32 model and it is uploaded to the Firebase. So what are the functionalities that is available is the real-time visualization. As I said, as it is using Google Firebase, we are retrieving the real-time data, and we can visualize the data in real time in these mobile applications. So it can adapt to the different environment. It is not only particular to the agricultural land. If the sensors are available over the industrial areas, drone can go fetch the data from the industrial area as well. It is cost efficient and efficiency both. Why? In the sense, to collect the data manually, there is a human interaction required, and it might be some errors while reading the data, and again it must be manually uploaded to the somewhere to store the data. So using this drone and using the automated flight paths and all, we can just go and collect the data efficiently, and it can be stored in the Firebase or some any other cloud where it can be used for further analysis, and further it can be used for previous data analysis or some other cause. So data transmission is available. As I said, using Wi-Fi hotspot, data is transmitted to the Firebase, and it is stored there. And these are some of the visualizations in the app which can be visualized, so we can have a better idea on what are the things that is been collected in the agricultural land. So some of the application where it apart from the agricultural land is smart homes can be implemented, like in apartments and all, there are some sensors which can be implemented, and those sensors values can be monitored and collected via drones. Industrial IoT can also be implemented where a large amount of area is vast in the, I mean, as we know, industrial area is very vast, and there are some chemicals, those harmful materials which are available. So to get those readings also, we can use the drone to collect the data, and many accidental casualties can also be avoided there. And in environmental monitoring, we know we have streets, we have garbages, we have some water issues which can be monitored by a drone. Where in that area also it can be used to cater those issues. So coming to the conclusion, as I said, it is very efficient as it is equipped with the Wi-Fi, and it can easily go collect the data, come back on the ground station, and this data can be visualized in the mobile app to see what is being collected by the drone. Potential applications, as I said, it is not only limited to the agriculture, it can be used to smart home, smart agricultural as well, smart industries and environmental monitoring. So enhanced scalability is nothing but as we increase the sensors, we can just implement those in the Google Firebase as a mod component where it retrieve the data and it is fetched using Firebase API. So accessibility is another point where we human cannot reach easily. These drones can easily go collect, fetch the data, and those data can be used to analyze the used it can be used to analyze and make prediction based on the data received. So as I said, developing an Android application where it is very handy to see the visualization that is being collected, and anyone can just open the Android app and can just access those data and analyze the things easily. So that was about my research where I came up with an idea of developing a drone to cater the manual collection data in the agricultural land. So that was about my presentation. Thank you, sir.
Dhanush, I'm audible.
Yes,
Hi.
sir.
Acha. Your topic was fly-by drone, isn't
Hello.
it? Yeah, hello. I'm audible. Are you listening?
Sir, just a second, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Audible very much.
Sir, actually, was my audio available when I was explaining the slides?
Yes, sir, it was. It was.
Okay.
Fine. Dhanush, we'll go with the questions.
Okay, sure, sir.
Fine, if any. Dhanush, it is a nice presentation. Your work is good. Fine.
Yes, sir.
The only thing is that while starting it, fly by drone, you
Yes,
would
sir.
you have given the comparative analysis. What are the things available right now, how it is going on,
Yes,
and
sir.
how probably it will be more beneficial. You want to say something on that right now?
Yes, sir. Because as we know, every data that is being surveyed now is going on manually. If survey is coming from government, just for example, I'm catering like how this drone can be used as a medium there. So everything is done manually, surveying the land, so monitor the agricultural yields. Everything is done manually, but not any technological advancement is done there.
No, but probably you are saying that you are using drone for agriculture. There are
Yes,
some examples. There are some cases where it is being used right now. Now, as far as India is concerned, let us say that it is not happening, but in foreign countries, it is happening, isn't it?
yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
that comparison, that's a
Uh,
stat you might have shown, or you please add into your next presentation if possible, right?
Sir, I had an idea based on that that needs to be implemented. In drone, there is an medium of autopilot where we can pinpoint the geographical locations or the geographical latitude, longitude marks, and drone will automatically go fly, collect the data, and come back. So this thing is something which can be automated if everyone is not advanced with. I mean, everyone is not knowledgeable in flying the drone. This idea can be done, sir, using telemetry. We can upload the flight path and it does the automatic work. Hello? 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 Ma'am, my voice is audible, right?
Yeah, you are audible. I think Sir Shafi is having some network issues.
Okay.
We can wait for him to.
Ishita, we can proceed with our next presentation. Sir
Sure,
will be
sure.
connecting again in a few minutes.
Okay. we'll be proceeding with our next presentation. I'd like to invite our presenter, Amitabh Bhattacharya, to present his paper titled Re-Engineering Methodologies Relational to NoSQL Databases. Please start your presentation, sir. I think sir is not there in the meeting.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Distinguished guest, my session chair, Dr. Pathan, and my loving participants. Who says I am alone? I am alone with beauty of nature. I am seeing a lot of PhDs, distinguished guests, and my loving participants. I recorded my version in my YouTube because of slow connectivity from this place. I am really grateful that I got chance and I am happy. Should I share my YouTube first? Then I'll talk about question answer session. Is it possible? Ishita?
Yes, sir. I believe it is possible.
So you will, should I send the link to you or I should share from here?
So you can share it.
Okay.
Here, all research communities, my brothers and sisters, and ladies and gentlemen in Jaipur ICTCS 2023. I got the chance and I'm happy that I have to talk few minutes about graph databases. How to re-engineer. Let's start. This is Amitabh. I served my motherland for 30 years and I'm ex-IBMer too, and from computer science, IIT Kharagpur and Tech. Little bit of introduction. Long back, I thought that I have to convert my old legacy system into a new paradigm called NoSQL, which is emerging and coming to whole world in different form. It's called NoSQL. That means either it's a key value store, it may be a document DB, it may be key value pair, or different organizations nowadays are adopting these new methodologies.
Ishita, I'm not able to listen the
I have
sound.
done extensive survey. My paper got published in 2022 in IEEE. I presented there the graph database survey, and I found there are plenty is coming and plenty is going. So here I have taken a token of MongoDB as an instance, which is a very powerful tool nowadays to integrate the SQL database to NoSQL. So here are some slides I just want to share, my dear friend. My dear friend, I'm just sharing the slides that I intend to physically present in front of you about the graph database, how to re-engineer. My re-engineering methodology may not be so accurate, but I can definitely tell you that it will help. From SQL, you can transform to MongoDB as an example, as a token. So here is the slide sharing. It will help you. I think it will help you to see how what is my purpose. This graph database is my first slides. Dr. Dudugrapada Chakraborty and myself has presented in graph database in IEEE 2020. So some of my friends have given me opportunity to pay a small contribution for my registration fee for Spring Up publication for Jaipur. To name a few, I am showing some slides. Kaustav Das, Ankur Bhaumik, Shaugata Ghosh, Chandra Datta, Jaideep Sengupta, Indranil Das, Sanjay Das, Ishan Dahi, and Rupa Das. Without them and without their encouragement, I am not able to speak at my challenging circumstances. So, evolution of graph database motivation is I developed long back a telephone directory. I thought that I should convert it to any new SQL platform. So how to do that? Here, create tables is a schema. You cannot change, alter afterwards. It's very difficult, but in MongoDB, you can easily add columns, rows, which is schemaless. The evolution of graph databases, I have developed extensive study I have done, but after that also I have seen that different graph databases are emerging, say Amazon Neptune, OrientDB, Jenas Graph, AuronDB, dgraph, say Facebook, adopts Cassandra, Nokia uses, say MariaDB, not many evolutions are coming. So this is my graph database is the evolution model. So to tell you frankly, the difference between Oracle and MongoDB, if you have contact number, say phone number and email ID, you cannot change in static schema, whereas MongoDB is flexible. So to finish, I have only few minutes to left. I have to slide and scroll down so that you can understand. If you have any query, kindly connect with me. I'll be there in your question and answer session on 8 December. Here is the syntax of SQL operator and MongoDB operator. That comparison is basically select is for DB collection. So insert one means DB collection, insert many is there. So join, having, index, everything has been linked. By seeing the GSDC scripts of IBM environment, you can easily collect the table views constraint where you can put your knowledge, and with your talents, you can migrate with MongoDB import in your MongoDB server and MongoDB databases. So this is the journey for semantic databases. I'm in hurry because I have to finish. I just want to show a MongoDB Atlas, a snapshot. If anybody can do free experiment how to create databases and fetch the databases with queries. What is that?
So that was the length of the video.
Yes,
Okay, we'll be proceeding with the question answer session.
yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
madam.
Ajit. Amitabh, sir, very nice presentation, and it was a pleasure to hear from you, the person who is in the field of computing from more than 30, 35 years. You are saying more than 40 years, I suppose.
Yes.
Uh,
But who says I am alone? I am alone with beauty of nature. Nature means wave science, Coopers. I am not a PhD holder like you, all the distinguished guests over this Jaipur. I am extremely thrilled. I prepared video long back. I know that problem will arise. My speculation has come as a probability. Dr. Pathan, I am very
Yes, sir.
grateful to you that you allowed me via Ishita Soren, and I am grateful to Harsh Soni, who has told me to record earlier.
Acha. No, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Means it is not very justifiable for me to ask something to you,
No,
but
no, you
what?
can.
Yeah. But what I can say, it was very nice presentation. Your contribution is great, sir. I hope you will continue with this for coming more than 20, 30 years also, and it will be beneficial to all of us as a student community, as a research community. Thank you and take care, sir. Yes, Ishita, it is over from
So
my
no
end.
questions, sir.
No questions, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll be proceeding with our next presentation. I'd like to invite next presenter, Alka TA, to present her paper titled Rural Women's Entrepreneurship in the Digital Age. You may start your presentation, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yes, Alka, you are.
Okay, thank you, sir. Myself, Alka TA. I'm full-time research scholar in Amrita School of Business, Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, Coimbatore, and I'm doing my PhD in Operations Management in the area entrepreneurship. Before starting presentation, I wish to acknowledge my parents, my teachers, and my all other persons who give support me. And I wish to express sincere thanks to Dr. Risham. He is my supervisor. And our title is Rural Women Entrepreneurship in the Digital Age. And our co-workers are, co-researchers are Ms. Ashwati Srinivasan and Dr. Suresham. So, in the introduction to the study, we can see the definition given by Samperi 2011 about the women entrepreneurship. And is rural women entrepreneurship means an enterprise owned, organized, managed, or controlled by a group of people in which not less than 80% of workers are women and capital contribution is not less than 51%. This is a standard definition given by Zamberi. While looking at the rural entrepreneurship, we can say that rural entrepreneurs are performing the entrepreneurial activities by establishing or by starting the ventures in rural areas. So the digital entrepreneurship is also playing a significant importance in the rural women entrepreneurship nowadays. And the digitalization was started from the 1970s, and in the 1970s the digitalization came to India, and also they are providing many assistance and providing support for the rural women entrepreneurs. While looking at the digitalization side in the rural women entrepreneurship, they are facing many problems, and also the digitalization helps them to eradicate these problems a very effectively and efficient manner. So this is the introduction to the study, and the background of the study is while looking at the beginning of the rural women entrepreneurs, majority are from the married class. They are playing two roles, like they are the boss of their family and also they are the boss of the enterprises. So there are certain limitations and reasons for the slow growth of rural women entrepreneurs in the beginning years. There is unfavorable family background, lack of education, family responsibility, lack of training, and also they are more focused on with the daily life, and they are not focused on more savings and the future growth. So these are the background of the study, and we can say that the focus of the rural women entrepreneurs from the agriculture and allied activities to the industry and other type of entrepreneur ventures are nowadays increasing at an increasing rate. This is the background of the study. And while looking at the research questions, there are three research questions. First research question is about what are the supportive measures from the government and financial support institutions which promotes rural women entrepreneurship in the digital age. And the second research question is about the problems challenged faced by the rural women entrepreneurs. And the third research question is about the second research question also, like how these challenges are managed by the rural women entrepreneurs nowadays. These are the research questions of the study. And while looking at the methodology side, we refer 47 published papers in between 2050 to 2023. And among these 47 papers, Scopus includes 27, Web of Science 11 papers, and I mentioned 9 papers are included. And these 47 papers reviews gives a theoretical exploration of the rural women entrepreneurship in the digital age, and also we are using certain search criteria and also the search keywords for the data extraction. This is the methodology side. And there are different types of definitions given by various exponents in this field. The four important definitions about the rural women entrepreneurship is presented here. And while looking at the factors which motivating the rural women entrepreneurs to start their ventures in the rural areas and also incorporating digital technology as motivating factors and facilitating factors. The motivative factors includes these 9 factors, and the facilitative factors includes these 5 factors. And apart from these, we can say that these factors will influence them to start their ventures and also running their enterprises very smooth and effective manner. These are the factors which motivate them to start and also maintaining the ventures in the rural areas. And according to Sharma 2013, highlights the 9 qualities that must be possessed by the rural women entrepreneurs, that is ready to accept changes, ambitious, hardworking, educated, patient, motivator for others, adventurous, conscious, intelligent. So these are the 9 qualities that must be possessed by the rural women entrepreneurs before starting the venture and also running the enterprises. So these are the 9 qualities. And by looking at the types, you can see the 4 types of entrepreneurship, like individual entrepreneurship, group entrepreneurship, cluster formation, and cooperatives. And in this cluster formation, one group is the self-help group. This is most common in the rural area. And while looking at the first research question about the supporting measures for rural women entrepreneurship, there are different supporting measures provided by various institutions and also from the government. There are certain institutions which provide supporting measures includes the State Finance Corporation, State Industrial Development Center, district industry centers, etc. And also there are different types of yojana and schemes are there. That is Nehru Rozgar Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana, Annapurna scheme, etc. These are the supportive assistance from the part of the government and the other institutions which promotes rural women entrepreneurship. And while looking at the technical supportive measures, there are certain institutions which provide the technical support initiatives, and also they are maintaining the mentor-mentee relationship with the rural women entrepreneur. SBT package is there, Bank of India Priyadarshini Yojana, Mudra Yojana scheme, and the other one is Udyam Shakti portal, and the next one is related with the tourism and also the development of women and children in rural areas. These are technical supportive measures, and the impact of these technical support measures are, first of all, we can, while availing these incentives and these assistance, they can eliminate majority of the problems while adopting the technology and also running their enterprises to the digital innovations. And also the next important impact was the mentor-mentee relationship. Mentor-mentee relationship helps them to identify the mistakes, and also they can reduce the mistakes, and also it will help them to increase their knowledge, expertise, and the mentor gives the review and also feedback. They can also incorporate in their enterprises. So the ultimate result of the mentor-mentee relationship from the part of the institution and also with the rural entrepreneurs are the long-term relationship. And these are the impact of technical support measures. And while looking at the summary of the details and its impact on rural women entrepreneurship, we can say that in 1970s, the digital age was started, and also there are certain limitations while we see in that time, and now it was changed, and the majority of the problems are nowadays is very less, and also they are providing many advantages while adopting the digital technology in their enterprises. That is, they can maintain the relation with the customers, and they can identify the customer needs properly, and also they can get valuable feedback, suggestions, and mainly they can connect with the customers by selling, marketing, and also identify the needs of the customers through the digital platforms than the direct means of communication and other ways. So these are the advantages, and apart from these advantages, there are certain limitations that are also faced by the rural women entrepreneurship. Like they are from the less educated background, and the technical knowledge is very less, and also the inadequate training facilities. And while looking at the women's side, there are different type of feminine harassments faced by the women through social media. So these kind of problems, and also in the side of technical, there are connection problem, accessibility problem is also there. So these kind of problems are experienced by the rural women entrepreneurs in nowadays while adopting this type of digital innovation. So these are the digitalization impact. While looking at the challenges, the challenges are listed here. It is already discussed. And the thematic map explored in this area is includes 4 themes and 4 clusters. That is, if the best theme is mother themes, but none of the topic is evolved in this theme. And other themes topics is presented here. There is emerging or declining theme. There is women entrepreneurs, and the basic themes includes women entrepreneurship, etc. These are the thematic map evolved in this theme. And there's the explanation given based on the thematic map. And the research gap identified while conducting the studies. First of all, we identified that there are limited number of studies done in the past about this theme, and the most of the studies are based on qualitative studies, and the quantitative study is very less. And also the longitudinal studies, while we can identify the over the years growth and over the years progress and challenges of these rural women entrepreneurs is very less. And also the number of case studies is very less. These kind of number of study limitation is there. And the next limitation is about the concept or the core area of the research. That is, many of them are investigating about the challenges and opportunities, but limited number of studies may investigate the role of digital platforms, and also the essential digital skills need to be possessed by the rural women entrepreneurs. This is the research gap identified in the study. So overall, this we can make a conclusion like this. Digital entrepreneurs, and technologies helps rural women entrepreneurs carry out their entrepreneurial activities very effective and efficient manner. And also they are providing many advantages like social relation maintenance, competition survival, and also they can deliver and also connect with the customers easily. These kind of advantages are enjoyed by the rural women entrepreneurs while adopting this technology. Apart from these challenges, they may face certain apart from this advantage, they are also facing certain challenges that is already discussed. So these are the conclusion drawn from the study. And also one of the important thing is industry policy resolution 1991 highlighted the need for training and development of the women in industry layer. They are saying that the women are the game changers in the present scenario. So there is a need for providing technical this training and development support to the women at an increasing rate, because they are playing crucial role in the crucial role in nowadays. These are the conclusions drawn from the study. And by looking at the limitations, there are certain number of limitations that are experienced while doing the study. That is, one of the limitation is about the number of studies. There are limited number of studies in the past.
me,
So
Alka.
number of studies one of the limitation.
I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but this is a general time reminder. You're exceeding the
Okay,
time
ma'am.
limit.
Okay. Okay, conclude, ma'am. And the language, the language is limited to English language, and public stage is finite. Based on this, we can add the future research topic, like policymakers can introduce new policies and plans, programs, etc. for the future for the promotion of women entrepreneurs in the digital age. That is about research, and as a reference we are referred for the study.
Yeah. Dear professors and research scholars, any questions to Alka, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hi, Suresh, sir.
Hello, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, sir. How are
Fine,
you?
sir. Fine, sir. I'm good, sir. Good,
Rural
sir.
women entrepreneurship in the digital.
So,
Alka, can we go for the question and answer session?
Yes, sir.
First, let me congratulate you, Alka. Very nice presentation you have given. Your presentation,
Thank you, sir.
presentation, flow, content, all everything was well defined and very nicely prepared. I do have some
Okay.
suggestion along with that. I have seen that in
Okay,
somewhere
sir.
in presentation data is repeated. If you see about lack of what are the challenges and all these things, I was able to see that 2-3 times data is repeated. Second thing that you said about 47 papers you have referred, and
Yes, sir.
dimension was given. So I was not sure about what do you mean by dimension?
Dimensions is a database, sir.
Acha, it is a database.
Yes,
Scopus,
sir.
these are the publication. Web of Science is a publication. Dimension is also one of the database for
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Acha, is it
Yes,
for
sir.
only management studies or it is for everyone, for all?
No, sir. In general studies, not limited to management.
Acha. Second thing you said about rural empowerment, where you said that yes, Suresh, you are muted, sir. You are muted.
Sir, dimension is not as a database. It's giving the classification of different themes, sir. So in
Acha.
Scopus papers and non-Scopus papers. So if any topic, if we give if we give the search, it will give the different dimensions. Say example, rural women entrepreneurship means how many papers published in journal, Scopus and non-Scopus, and each paper means different dimensions, categories of the focuses. It will be classified
Acha.
and it will give, sir. It's one of the
Acha.
software tools, sir, actually, sir.
Acha, acha. It is one of the analysis tool which is
Yes, sir.
giving
Yes,
that how many data and where that data you may find in different
yes,
publication
sir.
house.
Yes, sir.
Acha, fine. I heard this first time. It is knowledge enrichment for me. Second, Alka, many times whatever the presentation you are done, in all the presentation you might have seen that a whole text or data or information was represented. So if you could add parametric data like numbers and all these things, it will be great. Along with that, that number will be naturally converted into graphs and all these things. So it looks good and it looks relevant and uh, uh, it is in, more confidently you can say that this shows like this percentage and all these things. This is one of the suggestion from my end.
Okay, sir.
Uh,
Thank you.
yeah, and you have said about the quality factors. You identified various quality factors. In that, one of the quality factor was the education. For rural
Yes,
women,
sir.
how it will be applicable or to which extent it is applicable, that is one of the questions. So all whatever I said, you try to
Yes, sir.
include in your presentation. It is all from my end, Ishika and Alka.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Alka, please switch on your camera. And Aswati Srinivasan, please switch on your camera. So, sir, I'm the supervisor for Alka and Aswati Srinivasan. So, both
Yes,
of my research scholars, full-time research scholars, working with me here in this Amrita School of Business, Coimbatore, sir. So, in
great,
this
sir.
area of entrepreneurship, sir. So,
Great, sir.
thanks for giving the opportunity to present here, sir. Thanks a lot,
Yes.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, welcome. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Alka. We'll be proceeding with our next presenter for the day. I'd like to invite Smriti Dwivedi to present a paper titled Terahertz High Gain Wideband MIMO Antenna for Beyond 5G. Please start your presentation, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, very good morning to all of you. Today, I'm going to present my paper on the topic of terahertz high-gain wideband MIMO antenna for beyond 5G application. Now, these are my outlines. In this talk, I'm going to cover antenna basics, microstrip antenna, advantages, disadvantages, terahertz regime, design of MIMO antenna, result discussion, conclusion, and references. Now, as we know that the antenna is the electrical device which converts electrical power into an electromagnetic wave. We need an antenna for everywhere, as like we need an antenna in land, radar, point-to-point communication, satellite, radio transmitter, receiver, broadcast television. Even we can use the antenna underwater and as well as through the soil for a certain frequency range and for a certain distance. Now we have 6 different types of antenna, like wire antenna, microstrip antenna, array antenna, lens antenna, reflector, and aperture. Here I am going to use the microstrip antenna, under which I am going to design elliptical patch with L-shape step stuck on the ground. Now we need a microstrip antenna because they have some advantages as well as they have some disadvantages. We have advantages like lightweight, low volume, low fabrication cost, low cross polarization radiation, and compatible with the MIC design. But apart from that, we have some disadvantages like it has a narrow bandwidth, low efficiency, low power. We have a surface wave radiation, high quality factor, and poor polarization purity. To remove such disadvantages, we are going to use this micro antenna with the elliptical patch, which we are going to fabricate it. Even we are going to design using the CST Micro Studio simulation software over the patch. Now here I am using the terahertz frequency regime. So under this terahertz frequency regime, we are having the frequency, or we are using the frequency from 0.1 terahertz to 10 terahertz, or correspondingly we can say the wavelength for this is 3 millimeter to 30 micrometer. So we are actually converting, or we are actually classifying this terahertz frequency in terms of wavelength. Like if we are having 0.03 millimeter to 3 millimeter, so we can say that it is actually a sub-millimeter terahertz regime. And if we are using more than that, then this is called infrared. Initially, we were not having any kind of source and detector to analyze the terahertz applications. Now, after 1990s, we are having the terahertz sources and detector that we can use for everywhere, just like in antenna that I am using here. Now here basically the frequency range I am using from 0.1 to 0.3, which is a sub terahertz range, and thereafter we are having a pure terahertz range. Now these are my parameters that I am going to use to design this antenna. Now this is the antenna design. Here in the first diagram, towards the left side, we are having the antenna under which we are actually designing the 2 elliptical patch, and this is the front side of the antenna, and the back side I am using at the ground plane. I am using the L-shaped stub to match the, or to remove the surface wave radiation. Now this is the S parameter. S parameter is basically the return loss, which should be actually come more than -10 dB. So that actually, if you are having the S11 more than -10 dB, that means you are having the good antenna design. But if you are not having, that means your antenna is not going to give a perfect gain and perfect efficiency. And thereafter, in the right hand side, we are having the radiation pattern, and for which we are getting the 22.1 dBi radiation or gain. Now this is the gain enhancement. Now after designing the 2 elliptical patch, I'm using the 3 elliptical patch, but more than that we need to increase the frequency. So we are having the frequency range that we are actually using for the designing. So this is the 3 elliptical patch antenna. And now here we can see in the middle part of the this presentation, this slide, we are having the S11, and now we are getting the good S11 as compared to the first one. And again the gain we are getting 24 point something, that 24.2 dBi, that is the gain that we are getting, and that is more than the previous case. Now this is the comparison table of the proposed antenna. This we are having 2 element array, that is 2 element elliptical patch, which we are having the frequency 2.74, and for the second one we are having the 5.3502 terahertz frequency. Bandwidth we are getting for the first one 0.2 terahertz, and for the second one I'm getting the 0.45 terahertz. So this is, in this work basically I have studied about the beyond 5G, which is basically a 6G antenna. I have studied so many literatures, and then I have used the MIMO antenna, that is we are using the 3 elliptical path, that is the multiple input. This antenna can be used for the multiple input and multiple output for any kind of beyond 5G applications. Now here I have presented 2 designs to check the effectiveness of the antenna, and then here I am getting 24.5 dBi for the 3 element and 22 dBi for the 2 element. The performance of the antenna design proved that this is a good prototype we can use for the scanning purposes as well as for the high range communication purposes. So these are my references, and then thank you for your attention. Thank you, sir.
Smriti?
Yes, sir.
Acha. Fine. Good work by you. Core technical work altogether.
Yes,
Have you
sir.
seen? Have you taken consideration the dimension of antenna and based
Yes,
upon
sir.
dimension? What are
Yes,
the
sir.
dimensions?
These are the dimensions I have taken for. Actually, this is a three-layered structure. So we have a ground, then we have a substrate, and then we have a patch. So basically, I have ground and substrate having the same dimensions, and patch we can vary according to the heat and trial method. Wherever we are getting we will get the maximum gain, or S11. That actually depends on that parameter. We can use the design of patch, but the height of substrate, height of ground, we have to actually calculate it manually. We have some formula. Using that, we can calculate the this height and length and width of the substrate as well as the ground.
Acha. Second thing about power consumption, have you taken any consideration of power consumption for this antenna?
Yes, sir. Actually, that's why I'm using this. This is the second diagram in the right hand side. That is the back part of the antenna. There I'm using the L shape, two L shape stub. So this basically we are using to match the input power to output power. If we are having the perfect matching condition, we will get the maximum power at the output, and we can actually consume the power. Consume means that we can remove the reflection. That is, in case of reflection, if we have, then we get the reflected power, and that actually the loss for the antenna. So we actually want to more and more transmission. So we use this type of structure in the backside so that we can get the perfect matching and we will get the maximum output power at the output side.
Acha. You are saying about the efficiency and power output. I am asking about consumption of power. What is the consumption?
Yeah, actually, I haven't checked that, sir. Sorry, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. It is okay from my end, Ishita and Smriti.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Smriti. We'll be moving on with our next presenter, Srinidhi S. Kulkarni, to present a paper titled on B2B communication using DSRC. You may start your presentation, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I am presenting on B2B communication using DSRC protocol. Okay. Here is the overview of our project. Coming to abstract, B2B communication is a key technology for enabling intelligent transportation system, and we are using a dedicated short-range communication, which is a wireless communication technology that enables V2V communication, V2V infrastructure, and V2V communication. DSRC is a dedicated short-range communication. It operates in 5.9 gigahertz frequency band. Okay. In this report, the report is highlighting the advantages of DSRC, including its ability to enhance road safety and improving traffic efficiency, the need for robust security measures, and potential interference issues with other wireless technologies in the same frequency band. Security mechanisms must be in place to safeguard the integrity and privacy of V2V communication. Several V2V applications enabled by DSRC are discussed in the report, such as intersection collision warning, emergency electronic brake system, and platooning of vehicle. These applications have the potential significance enhance to road safety, reduce congestion, and increase fuel efficiency. In conclusion, the report emphasizes the promising potential of DSRC-based V2V communication in improving road safety and traffic efficiency. However, the widespread adoption of this technology relies on the availability of infrastructure and a well-defined regulatory framework. Additionally, this research is required to address technical challenges and ensure the security and privacy of V2V communication. So we have used a DSRC-based protocol. Here RSU, we have used base stations like RSU. This RSU will helps to communicate between V2V and V2I. Here is the literature survey. We have done 19 literature surveys. In that, these two were related to our project. And first is coming to self-adaptive V2V communication with DSRC, and and a cyclic CCH cycle adaptive algorithm. From this paper, we have used two algorithms for our reference. These are the algorithms we have used. For one algorithm is contention vehicle recording, means here contention refers to the vehicles more than two or more than two vehicles which are trying to communicate with RSU at the same time on same channel. Here is the code for our algorithm one. So this is our second algorithm, CCH interval calculating. Here we are calculating the CCH interval. This is a table with 99 with two different parameters, with accuracy of 99% and 95%. We are considering 95% accuracy in this scenario. Here is a code for our second algorithm, and we have integrated this code in the software known as Omnet++. We can see the scenario. Here is a scenario view of our project. Here is the RSU, and here is the nodes. Here node represents the vehicles. You can see the communication between vehicles and roadside units. It is RSU. So coming to result part. Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
And coming to result part, in the context of V2V communication with the consideration for, we have considered position, speed, and acceleration. This result and analysis would involve studying the impact of these parameters on the V2V communication. Here is the overview of our results. Firstly, beaconing, transmission, and reception. The results should include the successful transmission and reception of beacons between vehicles. The number of transmitted and received beacons can be recorded considering the specific position, like position X and position Y, speed of the vehicle, and the acceleration of the vehicle. Here you can see, sir, the blue this blue dots indicates the packets, that is packets or beacons that is transferred between vehicles and RSUs. We have considered three major parts for safety measurements. Here, firstly, acceleration. Acceleration, the impact of acceleration in V2V communication is channel conditions, signal strength, and channel access. In channel conditions, acceleration can affect the channel conditions between vehicles. Rapid changes in acceleration can introduce Doppler shifts, resulting in frequency variations that impact signal propagation. And coming to signal strength, acceleration also affect the received signal strength between vehicles. Rapid acceleration or deceleration can cause changes in distance and relative positions between vehicles, leading to fluctuations in signal strength. This can result in variations in the received signal power and potentially impact the communication range and reliability. And coming to channel access, acceleration can influence the timing and synchronization of an channel access in V2V communication. Vehicles need to coordinate their transmissions to avoid collisions and interference. Sudden changes in acceleration can also change the ability of vehicles to maintain proper timing, potentially leading to increased collisions and reduced overall channel efficiency. Similarly, coming to speed of the vehicles, here also how here we can see how the speed is affecting the communication channel in V2V V2V. Here also the same scenario. Here channel conditions, transmission range, signal strength, and channel access. And coming to position of the vehicle, here we are considering the vehicle position as vehicle position X and position Y. Based on the position, we are calculating. Based on the position of based on the parameters of position X and position Y. We are calculating the position of the vehicle, and by calculating position of the vehicle, speed, and acceleration, we can grab the data of the vehicle such that we can predict that we can predict the vehicle speed, vehicle at what speed vehicle is traveling, and at what position vehicle is there. From these parameters, we can create a safety messages so that traffic efficiency and collision avoidance can be achieved. Coming to applications in the societal context of this V2V communication, traffic congestion mitigation, pedestrian safety, emergency response optimization, smart infrastructure integration, eco-friendly driving, transportation planning and management. And future scope of this V2V communication is enhanced safety features, cooperative adaptive cruise control, intersection safety, traffic management and optimization, autonomous vehicle coordination, emergency vehicle notification. And at the conclusion, the study introduces a CCH adaptive algorithm for the IEEE 802.11p, which is a DSRC protocol, MAC protocol in VANETs. This algorithm adjusts the CCH interval by taking into account the average number of contention vehicles with the objective of improving the reliability of safety applications by considering the transmission and reception of beaconings. The algorithm aims to enhance the overall performance of V2V communication. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Hi, Srinidhi.
Hi, sir.
Acha. Very good presentation you are given. You are saying about vehicle to vehicle communication, fine, and that too you are using DRSC protocol.
DSRC.
What is the research component in that? DRSC is a protocol which is there, fine.
Yes,
the only thing is that about deployment of probably maybe deployment of the point somewhere in vehicle to vehicle communication, maybe the point of concern.
Yes.
But what is as far as research is concerned, what is your contribution?
Actually, DSRC is that is an implemented part. We have took the algorithm. We have implemented the algorithm. In the algorithm, it says they are assuming two vehicles at a time for a collision calculation. In algorithm one, we can see that. Just a minute, sir. So in algorithm one, they are considered here. You can see that they are considering collisions between two vehicles. If the more than one vehicle is trying to communicate on the same channel, then collision it assumes that a collision is happening between the vehicles. Means there is a data collision.
Yes,
Data collision.
But collision control methodology, collision control issue is already addressed in DSI.
Yes, sir. Actually, seeing the changes. If we change the vehicles number of vehicles instead of two, we are increasing the vehicle density, sir. So that how it is going to perform on that basis, sir, by considering only one RSU.
But if you are saying vehicle density, then it is you can say that it is a scalability, isn't it? Scalability of things parameters.
Yes.
So if that is the case, other than scalability, if issues are already addressed and you are saying about scalability, then question is that what will be your contribution in that case, which will address this scalability factor?
So means in some papers, in some researchers, it is mentioned that RSU means communication between if we deploy two RSUs for this much of vehicles, for XYZ vehicles, means for XYZ vehicles, they are requiring this many of RSUs. So then deployment cost will be increasing, sir. So that to reduce that, can we even we can we can deploy that in by putting the single RSU with more number of vehicles. How channel optimization can be done in that?
See that the applicability and at the same time execution may be the point of concern at this particular point. So see that how you are going to address and how you are contributing it to that. In together, overall, Srinidhi, good presentation, good research. Go ahead with that. I wish you all the best. And it is all from my end, Ishita.
Okay, sir. Thank you, presenter. We'll be proceeding with our last presenter for the day. I'd like to invite paper presenter Vardhaman Jain to present his paper titled Web Chain Vote, an Ethereum-based digital voting system. Please go ahead, sir.
Hi, good morning all. I hope everybody is having a very nice day. I will share my presentation. Is it visible?
Yes, Vardhaman, it is visible.
Yes.
Great. Hi, I'm Vardhaman Jain. I'm currently a fourth year student at Symbiosis Institute of Technology. And four of my classmates, along with our professor, we have written this research paper and also implemented some aspects of it. So the research paper that we have written is on WebChain Vote, which is an Ethereum-based digital voting system. It is basically a blockchain-based e-voting system. So first I will introduce blockchain in one sentence is a distributed ledger with an ever-growing list of items. So I like to imagine it as a linked list, which has a very advanced level of security and which is impossible to break, almost impossible to break. So for an introduction, I will introduce by saying that democratic institutions and procuring their integrity and maintaining the legitimacy is very important. And through the past years, we have seen a growing interest in leveraging blockchain for improving these voting processes. So the three main challenges that we have faced in past existing systems are user accessibility issues, security vulnerabilities, and potential manipulation by centralized authorities. So we are proposing an innovative digital voting system utilizing any blockchain, but for our research paper, we have used Ethereum blockchain, and we have implemented a hybrid security strategy. So the key features are that we have integrated blockchain's security benefits. We have also provided an emphasis on combining accessibility and reliability of traditional paper ballots. So how the traditional paper ballots, which are currently used in India, are very reliable and accessible to everybody. How we can introduce a new system which is also accessible and reliable in the same way. So we've provided a hybrid approach for increasing the robustness of the current system. And so after researching all of the research papers that have been mentioned, the 28 references in our research paper, we have come forward with these 5 hypotheses, and I will explain them to you now. The first is that blockchain technology enhances voting security and non-repudiation. Non-repudiation means that an individual falsely claims to not do an act that they have done. So in our example, in the voting example, that would be that a voter has voted for somebody and they are denying that they have voted, and now they will cast another vote for the same person. So the incorporation of blockchain technology in these e-voting system improves the security and the aspect that I just explained of the voting process. So we are increasing the trust and reducing any tampering methods. The second hypothesis is that blockchain will introduce a decentralization aspect and it will be more efficient. So like I explained, the challenge was that voting is centralized and therefore it is somewhat easier to tamper with. And blockchain will help to curb that. So the third hypothesis is we're using smart contracts to ensure voting system integrity. So a lot of research papers have talked about how they have implemented smart contracts, and they have a smart contract is basically it is a blockchain technology in which once the user has fulfilled some conditions, the contract is carried out, and both sides of the contract, for example, the negotiator and the introducer, both of them will be carried out after those conditions are fulfilled. So we have used smart contracts as well in this research paper's proposed methodology, which provides a means to automate and secure various aspects of the system. So you don't really have to supervise a smart contract, you just have to code it, and then you have to make it according to the system that you want. The fourth hypothesis is security concerns in digital voting. So blockchain technology offers more security, thus making it more resilient to potential cyber attacks and unauthorized access. The fifth is challenges existing in implementing blockchain-based voting systems. So the fifth hypothesis that we came across after researching all of the research papers was that the challenges that they all faced were somewhat common. So I have written down the common challenges. So the common challenges, as I explained before, were security, centralization, and also transparency. So these were the 5 hypotheses that we have covered and figured out in the research papers that we studied. So not only have we written a research paper on this, but we have also implemented a website and a complete system that implements all of these technologies that I've just mentioned. So the methodology of implementing that was that for the front end, we have created a website using HTML and CSS To introduce functionality, we have used React.js, done the design on Figma. And for the backend, we have made a smart contract. We have built a smart contract on our own in Solidity. It is compiled by Truffle and it is deployed on Ganache. These are all blockchain technologies. So Ganache is a testing environment for blockchain. Truffle is used for compilation of code that we write, which connects blockchain to the front end. And we are also using a third-party wallet, which is MetaMask wallet. So on this wallet, users are allowed to make transactions with the backend of the system. So the hybrid methodology that we are using here is that we are also using MongoDB to store user information and the election details. So this way, our proposed methodology is much more scalable than any other proposed methodology. We are not only providing security through our blockchain, but we are also providing scalability through MongoDB. And the databases can be expanded horizontally and vertically in MongoDB, thus making it simpler for us to implement it on a small scale and to use this vision of a small scale and vertically expand it into a nationwide or at least a statewide election. Yes, that is the methodology we have used. And on the blockchain, we store two types of information. The vote is stored on the blockchain and the candidate's information is stored on the blockchain. So the vote means the user in the website, whoever they will vote to, whichever candidate they will vote to, that is stored on blockchain. So there is no way to backtrack who a user has voted to. And therefore, that is how we are providing security of voting. And also the candidates' details are stored on the blockchain itself. That is also very secure. And the user information and the election details are stored on MongoDB. So in a conclusion, I think my time is also almost up. While concluding, I would like to say that we have successfully implemented a digital voting system on the Ethereum blockchain. And we are addressing all of the limitations of the existing systems through the integration of a hybrid security approach and also an easily understandable user interface. So we have not only written this research paper, but we have also implemented a small scale voting in our college itself using all of these methodologies, as I mentioned before, for the voting of a class representative. And we are hoping that in the next semester, we will also be able to implement this in our college directly. Yes, so the other challenges that we also have curbed was that we implemented a user interface that is easy to use. So the user doesn't have to understand what blockchain is and what they are going through, what their data is going through. They just know that it is secure. And also to uphold confidentiality, we have used biometric identification, we have used barcodes, and we have also used cryptographic techniques. That is all for the presentation. Open to taking questions.
Vardhaman, first of all, your efforts are really appreciated. Means whatever you said, so it can be evident from your presentation that you have technically has gone through it and you are trying hard, or you have given very high efforts in every aspect of these things. As far as questions are concerned, Vardhaman, you said that you have implemented it. But tell me, at the fundamental level, if I'm saying that in blockchain, every information, it is of user and it is of voting system. Every information is storing into every block of system. Is it like that?
No, so blockchain is basically a linked list. So I will explain it. So for example, I am a user. So I will have a block of my own, and it is connected to the next user's block. So both of these users have addresses which are hashed. So the only connection between these two users is that this user will have the previous one's hash. There is no other connection between those two. And there is no other possible way to find a connection between both of them. That is how it is.
It is like, yeah. So my question was that about scalability. Do you think that this system is scalable in that case?
Yes, sir, definitely. So the previous proposed methodologies used only blockchain, and they stored all of the information on blockchain itself, and that became very difficult to go through and configure because blockchain is a very niche technology even now, even though it is getting a lot of recognition. So it is very difficult to form contracts which have a lot of scalability. Therefore, we have implemented the user information in MongoDB. So all of the things that are require a lot of information, like personal details, voting details, candidate details, all of the things that require a lot of storage are being used on MongoDB. So that is how we are introducing scalability, which is much higher than the previous proposed methodologies.
Achha. Have you seen that somewhere blockchain technology is used for the voting system worldwide?
Yes, sir. We have researched and we found out that in Moscow, it was used for city elections, but however, it was withdrawn due to cybersecurity issues. And in Sierra Leone in 2018, it was used for a vote counting process, but they had a lack of transparency. So this is one point that we have focused on. Due to this lack of transparency, we have introduced an admin in our proposed methodology who is able to foresee and get an overview of how many votes are being made and who is voting, who has voted already and who cannot vote again. So we have addressed this lack of transparency as well. So these are the two main examples of international usage of blockchain for e-voting.
Achha, fine. Good work, Vardhaman. I wish you all good luck. It is all from my end, Ishita and Vardhaman.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vardhaman. This brings us to the end of our presentation. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentations and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during this 8th version and the previous 7th versions of the conference. We will be happy to have you in the 9th version in 2024. All the presenters will be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Furthermore, all the papers have already been forwarded to the Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of ICTCS 2023. I also thank our session chair, Dr. Shafi Pathan, for chairing this session. A token of appreciation to the chair on behalf of Team ICTCS 2023 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. Thank you for your valuable presence, sir.
Ishita, give me 2 minutes. I do have to conclude from my end also.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. First of all, thank you to all the presenters. It started from Nita Mehta to end in the Vardhaman presentation, and I have gone through the topic like from HR information to the blockchain technology, antennas, and all these things. For a person who is in the knowledge industry, it will be always rewarding for us to learn these things. So thank you very much, GR Foundation. Dr. Joshi, he is looking after GR Foundation. I know very well him. So thank you all the people from GR Foundation for being so supportive, kind, and everything. Thank you to my organization also, MIT ADT University, because of them only I am in front of you. And at the end, I would like to thank Ishita very much. She was so supportive, enthusiastic, and always available for every point of time throughout this presentation. So thank you, Ishita, and thank you all. And I wish you all good luck for your research, and you have a nice day ahead, a smiling nice day ahead.
I kindly request everyone to switch on their cameras for a quick snapshot of the virtual conference.
And as said by Amitabh sir, we may have our emails of each other. Ishita can do one thing for us so that we will make a group, or maybe we will be in touch by through emails.
Sure, sir.
Yes.
It's nice.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
This session comes to the conclusion. Stay safe and take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir.